Alright, hello and welcome to Road Trip Adventure, any percent. Now, this is a very fun little game, a lot of driving, a lot of funky physics and glitches, so we're gonna dive right into it. So timer starts in 3, 2, 1, go. So, this game's very interesting. It's, well, we call it a CARPG. So, oh, whoops, I failed something real quick. Sorry. Okay, so we call it a CARPG. Now, this game is basically a driving game with like RPG aspects. You go around and talk to NPCs and interact with random people. There's a lot of things to do. It's got a huge open world that you can explore. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff to see. But we're going to be skipping most of it, as always. This game happens to have a particularly large glitch right at the end, right at the final part of the game, which we'll see. And yeah, it's going to be fun. Now we start off by taking a long drive under the ocean, of course. Just casually driving under the water, because that's a thing you can do in this game at the start of the game, without any upgrades to your car. Now at the beginning there, I actually messed up because there's a dialogue option right in the first dialogue option you get in the game is automatically set to no, so you have to scroll up to yes. It's a very easy thing to miss. Usually you can count when you're spamming like the buttons. You can count how many button presses you make and then like know when to switch dialogue. But in this case, obviously, I was busy doing commentary, so I wasn't really thinking about it. But, you know. Yeah, this is a PS2 game. This is obviously on an emulator. So it's HD, but this is a PS2 game. I have the game on PS2, but it's PAL, so I can't speedrun it, unfortunately. And here we are at the island. What are we going to do at the island? Well, some interesting stuff. You'll be seeing it in a moment. Spamming through text in this game is actually kind of difficult because you have to do it either really quickly or have a very, very specific rhythm to get it right. There's like a bit of a delay between inputs when you're spamming through dialogue. And here's a pretty difficult physics trick to start off with. I mean, it's not too difficult, but you need a lot of practice to get it right. Also a bit of luck, because it's just the way the game's physics work. It can be a bit annoying sometimes. Let's see if we get it. There we go, that's a clean jump. Sometimes the game sticks you like on the underside of the dirt that you jump off of, and it can basically launch you downwards into the water. Oh no, I messed up the dialogue option. I was spamming with the wrong button and it selected no. I've never done that during a normal run before, but that's fine. I've got plenty of time, it's a couple of seconds of time lost. And now we're going to see some really wacky physics stuff. Like, not just jumping off of cliffs and flying through the air, but this is going to be crazy. Now first we're going to talk to this guy's wife who left her because she saw a picture of herself and thought it was another girl. Yeah, that's absolutely what happens. No joke. And now she knows that she was actually dumb and just looked at a picture of herself and thought it was someone else. Now we can go back to the guy and we get something for free. That's actually really insane. Just casually, like, climbing up walls, by the way. Now, there's actually a faster strat there, but it's very, very precise, and I'm not very consistent at it, so I'd rather do that round the island. And now we get jet turbines. So right at the beginning of the game, without actually doing any like racing or anything else, you can just get jet turbines that basically launch you really fast. Here we go. So our next stop is, well, our next stop is actually Japan for fuel. There's like a Japanese island, it's called Fuji City. And we're gonna stop there real quick to get some fuel. As you can see in the bottom right, there's a little fuel gauge. And it goes down really quickly when you use the jet turbines, so that's the balancing factor. Oops. Missed the entrance a little bit, that's not great. Now we go across the bridge to Fuji. And our actual final destination after Fuji is Sandopolis, which is basically like a bootleg Las Vegas. And there we can gamble for large amounts of money, as you'll see. Alright, here we leave Fuji City and on our way through the desert, through the empty wastes of sand. Let's see if we can jump over this wall. Yes, we can. Okay. Sometimes that doesn't work, but usually it's pretty easy. And it's time to gamble. Actually, wait, no, first. So this gambling part is very RNG heavy. Well, it's not super RNG heavy, but it's very inconsistent. The RNG can mess up the run, and in this case I'm actually going to go and save before we start gambler. That's hence the long estimate. Normally this run is like 7 minutes shorter, but I'm gonna go save, and we're gonna play it marathon safe in this case. Alright, there we go. I'm so glad I remembered that, because if I would have ended up with no money, that would have been bad. So, yeah. We basically go all in to get enough money for the parts that we need later. Alright, here we go. Let's see if we can get Gamba first try. Get jackpot, big bucks. Yes! I did it! Let's go! Landed on the 1. That's perfect. That timing is really precise. And now we have huge amounts of money. Absolute droves of cash. Now we can warp straight to Papaya Island and buy a bunch of shit. Alright, I'm gonna take my time a little bit with this buying. Normally you can do that faster, but take it slow. Don't want to miss buy anything on this run. we're going to do a funky jump right here to reach the final area of the game. There we go, just reverse up the wall as you can. So the main thing about this game's walls is that they push you back if you try to go up them, but that collision detection for pushing you back actually doesn't count when you're reversing. It doesn't like detect the back wheels, I think. So you can basically just do that when you're reversing with the rear wheels and get up basically any wall that isn't vertical. If it's like fully like 100% vertical, it's really hard to do, but it's very easy to just reverse up most walls if they're slanted. Now we equip all the parts that we bought, and we're going to do the final skip of the game after doing that little spin. It always does that on the exit. If you steering input during the exit animation after equipping a bunch of new parts, it like spins your car around. It's really weird. So this skip here is called Obama skip. Now this is the president's house. We want to beat the president because we want to become the president. That's how it works in this universe. And we're just gonna like push this guy over here and then go like this. Failed it first try, of course. There we go. And we're just gonna fly across the world. Now we kind of just sit here for a while. And we're in the president's house. Just like that, we basically wrapped around the world by clipping through the air and went straight into the entrance of the president's house. And now we're in the final race of the game. Yeah, the map icon is definitely a man with a guitar. It's nothing else. Messed that section up a bit.
Can I ask, what is the rating for this game?
What is the rating for this game? I think it was like the lowest there is.
Yeah.
3, basically.
Oh, right. Okay.
I actually got this game when I was like 4 years old. It was the first game I ever owned, so that's an interesting fact about this game and me. Anyways, time is coming up at the end of this lap, so I'll let you know when that happens. We can actually sit through the credits if you want, because we've got enough time, I think.
Whatever you want to do.
Time. So that was Road Trip Adventure Any %. Now we are the president, and just like that, we rule the world. Now you can see the glitched end cutscene with all the missing cars and the black skybox. Classic. and the beautiful credit scene with all the cars that we never even spoke to. Actually, we spoke to those two, but other than that, we didn't speak to most of these cars that we will see throughout the rest of this cutscene. So, if anyone hasn't played this game, obviously this is a very bad example of what there is to see in the game, because obviously we only saw like a couple of things and at the end of the game. But if you can, absolutely try this game. There's so much stuff to do in it. The 100% run is like, well, it's not 100%, it's 100 stamp, which is almost 100%. It's like a 4-hour run. There's so much to do in the world, there's so much to see, it's really crazy. There's lots of racing to do, lots of upgrading to do, there's so many quests, and it was made on a really low budget by a really small team, but I think it really shows how much work was put into this game back in the day. And yeah, we can see a bunch of the towns and cities that we never visited. But we started there, so we kind of saw a bit of that. There's the bridge we crossed. Feels strong, man. Good memories from like 10 minutes ago. Oh yeah, that's funny. Some of the music in this game, as Mika mentioned in chat, some of this music in this game was actually I'm not entirely sure how it made onto the game, but I'm pretty sure a lot of it was made by like some MIDI producer from the 90s, who isn't actually the composer that's listed for this game. I think the composer for this game kind of rushed it and just took some stuff, some like preset stuff, MIDIs that he found on his keyboard or whatever, and kind of threw it into the game. It's very interesting. I mean, they're bangers, but it's still funny that like half the music in this game wasn't actually composed by the main composer. Alright, there we go. That's all there is to see of Road Trip Adventure, and we became the president and everything. I hope you all enjoyed that run. It was slightly scuffed, but I got roulette first try, that's cool at least. We do a little bit of gamba. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed.
Alright. Well, GG on both of your runs. It went really well.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a race of the Simpsons game, New Game Plus, between Baker, Mark, and Ticker. That is coming up next. So we're going to take a quick intermission while we get ready for that. And yeah, we'll see you soon.